All three of us are going to practice our 2-point, our cross-country position real quick. So Lila, you're going to start. And we're just going to do a big sweep. So I just want you to get into your cruising position. And I want your seat up out of the saddle, and I want you stable as Fred covers the ground underneath you. Tracy, when you do this with Liam, I want him to roll a little bit more forward, and then with that, think of almost straightening your leg a little bit more so that you're not working so hard through your quad, but that you can actually kind of balance up and stay up out of the tack, and instead of feeling like every time he hits the ground, you're coming down and you're having to hold through your quad. So Lila and I will go first, and you can watch. Good, Lila, and then ask him to move forward a little more and really get up into your cruising position. Good. And then bring him back again. Balance him back. Tall, nice. Good job. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Oh. Tracy, did you notice any difference between Lila and me? I don't know if you watched Lila. Because I think, might be wrong, I think that I pushed my lower leg more forward. So because sometimes when they're in a slower canter, it's actually hard to really get up and stay up, like you're fighting. It's easier to stay in cruising position when they're motoring across the ground more and we're still warming up here, so they're kind of just doing a nice working canter for you. But I was noticing in the canter that you were in with your 2-point that I felt like you were fighting. I'm like, man, that would be exhausting over the course of a whole course, which is why I thought we should do this real quick. Okay. So, and Lila, even with you, I think you were a little bit like almost posting to the canter. So then that's why I said go forward, because I wanted to see if the more forward canter popped you up a little bit more. But I think that I had my lower leg a little bit more forward, and I was a little bit more set. Not that you want to be locked in your knee, but set with a straighter leg, so that it takes very little energy for me to stay up here for long periods of time, and you can stabilize your balance a little bit better. So with the brown, when he did the little hoppy thing, just try and remember when you need to give. I like that you were trying to get his shoulder up, but remember when you need to soften. Shoulder up. Good girl. I was really happy with your gallop jumps, both of them. They were really consistent, even. Actually, my only critique, other than his little hiccup there, which was just a little bit of a misreading, the jump's little. I think if that jump were bigger, you would have ridden up the hill with a little bit more impulsion the first time. But because it was small, you're like, oh, he's just gonna pop over it, and then he wound up chipping on you. But my only critique actually is that one. The first time you came, it's right on the cusp of the light to dark, and I think that maybe you should have taken one more step of a balancing step to get his eye on it, because he came around and he was you were kind of coming through the turn, and he was like, don't touch my mouth. And so he didn't really see the jump until I felt like almost the stride he took off, and then he's a good boy and he took off. But especially when you're right on that cusp of light to dark, take an extra step, and it's a natural colored jump. Like take an extra step and make sure they actually see it.